Hello everyone, it's been a while, but we're back on Battlesector because I've been granted a little bit of early access with the Black Legion DLC. Finally, we're going to get some Chaos Legionnaires. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of Chaos in general. So we're going to be checking out the brand new DLC, how they play on the campaign. There's quite a lot of units, and yeah, you're going to be having quite large armies. A big thank you to Slytherin once again for the early access, and a big thank you for sponsoring this video, which is always very kind of them to do. So let's talk about a bunch of stuff because Battlesector has also just evolved over the years so dramatically. We'll start off with the Chaos roster because it is huge. So you've got 4 different Lord options. Obviously a Chaos Lord is going to be there. You do have the Master of Executions, which by the way, absolutely wonderful if you're trying to get down some single targets. Fantastic character option. All in all, you've got a little bit of playability when you want to change stuff around. With the Chaos Lord having a variety of different weapon types in case you want to change the loadout a little bit, it's the only one that really is going to have a lot of changes, but all of them are pretty damn good. You've got a character with a flamer, which, yeah, you can do a decent amount of damage to yourself if you don't plan ahead, which is what I did. But, hey, you know, for the Dark Gods, right? Now, when we start looking towards units, this is where things start getting really, really massive. Obviously, you've got Chaos Terminators in groups of 3, which are fantastic. Very, very durable, very, very strong. The Chosen are also available too. Not every unit has weapon options, and that's perfectly fine because you do end up with so many different types. Venom Crawler coming in and the Forge Fiend, which also has its options. Pretty damn good, and it's a lot based on like the newer miniatures, obviously through the Venom Crawler and others. Obviously the Obliterators I think are changing soon. I'm not sure in terms of like tabletop. Basically everything you can expect from a Black Legion roster is here. So you got Hellbrutes, you've got Havocs with a lot of different weapon options, so you can really tailor them around. Raptors, which oddly very popular lately, probably because of the Murder Wing kit, obviously Chaos Legionnaires, and then you've got the Cultists, so you have a lot of units with a Rhino also. I did forget about the Rhino. It's always good to have because, you know, it just helps to have a transport to move stuff around, and it does some decent damage itself. It really depends on what your playstyle is going to be, and having so many different types of troopers is going to allow you to really experiment with playstyle. I did forget to mention, by the way, that since this is early access, anything like stats and stuff that you might see could be subject to change by the time that the DLC launches in, I believe, 2 days as to the time of releasing this video. Just want to put it out there. I know most people are aware of those types of changes that can happen, but it's always good to put a disclaimer on. It's great that we finally got on the Black Legion as a playable faction because they're iconic, right? Well, not only that, but this game is getting DLC at a really good pace, which means more and more factions are coming out of the woodwork to play around with, and that stuff is amazing. It's leading to a lot more variety, so it keeps giving you incentive to come back and play. Not gonna lie, this is making me want to paint up some Black Legion stuff. I do have a few boxes laying around, but I've just painted up some Red Corsairs, so I feel like I need a little bit of a break before I jump into a bunch of trim again. Before we continue, it is important to note that yes, this game has evolved quite a lot, and there's loads of playable factions in-game now through DLC or otherwise. You've got the Blood Angels, the Tyranids, the Necrons, the Sisters of Battle, Corn Demons, Orcs, Tau, obviously Imperial Guard, and now with this new DLC, the Black Legion. It really shows that Slytherin have a lot of plans for this title and continue to keep innovating. It's not just in the form of DLCs. Obviously, we do know that brand new game modes have been added in too, which is very fantastic. We'll talk about that in just 1 second. One thing I like doing with these DLCs is if I'm painting this specific faction, it's always great just to have it there, just to kind of see where I could put weathering when I'm painting my models. Yes, I use this game for that point of reference too. And it's changed also for the good. We've got 2 awesome campaigns with the Age of Crimson Dawn and also Deeds of the Fallen, 2 very, very good narrative campaigns. But also alongside is the Demonic Incursion, the Planetary Supremacy, and the Crusade mode, alongside custom campaigns, which is a relatively newer feature, and people are kind of working around that with like custom maps and stuff, which is always great to see. The game does have a lot of replayability. The narrative has always been very well written. I would say once again that the standard Blood Angels campaign has one of the best introductions to Warhammer 40,000 ever. Like seriously, if you're trying to introduce a friend to Warhammer 40k, that's probably the best cinematic to show them. The game mode I like showing off new armies in is Planetary Supremacy, so that's what we're going to do once again with the brand new faction, the Black Legion, versus some Blood Angels and Tyranids, because, I mean, they're always fun to fight against, to be honest. It also means that you've got like a more elite force that you'll be fighting against, and then obviously the Tyranids alongside all the others that you'll be finding as like normal NPC, not faction stuff, right? So you will be fighting a lot of other things too. I think that's what a lot of people like jumping into. Planetary Supremacy is really, really fun. If you want one of those like chill campaigns that you can basically do in a day, whilst also like painting models, waiting for them to dry, it's multitask purposes. So the tech tree here is actually relatively massive, which is great because that means that you've got a lot to experiment with, especially getting all the unlocks, which won't really take too much time. The great thing here, from what I've been able to see, is that you do start off with Legionnaires. You do start off with already being able to pick up another Rhino, some Raptors, a lot of the Chaos Cultist stuff, because obviously that's going to be part of that. Your Firebrand is available from the very beginning alongside pretty much your Master of Executioners, but you will be able to get a Chaos Sorcerer and Chaos Lord pretty much from the first battle, and you start off with a very, very large army, which is wild actually. So many cultists and legionnaires, they're really cheap, and it's kind of interesting. So I do imagine that that might be balanced a little bit as release happens, because they perform very, very well. They perform very, very well. You can tell that this has got like the 8th edition mindset in mind, where it was a lot of cultist spam on the tabletop. So it's good to see. It's definitely good to see. Takes you back to a simpler time, doesn't it? Which is always lovely. So it's actually really funny because obviously when you jump into your first battle, even against like some non-faction style NPCs, there's so much. You get so much just from the very beginning, which is it's incredible. You're just swarming as much as possible. There is a lot of map control if you know what you're doing. Early on, like it's kind of like, okay, what do I do? Where do I move the units? What I've been kind of doing is pushing the Legionnaires forward and then swarming around with the Raptors and also with the Cultists. But it does depend. Sometimes you just want to throw your Cultists in to die because they're not really worth that many victory points. But don't you worry, if you prefer more elite style forces, if you want to go with more of a 9th edition setting, and I think 10th is focusing quite heavily on single entities, you are perfectly fine as you start expanding through, just to get like switch out your cultists for like more big stuff. I wasn't prepared to fight orcs at the very beginning, and it took a while to get my footing in, I'm not going to lie. But afterwards I realized, oh yeah, the Master of Executions, so good at not only just taking out like an orc character, but also the Death Dread too. It's so good at just taking out single entities like that. Your Raptors, very, very good. Keep them around, have them flying from behind and just like ripping apart everything. Legionnaires, very durable for what they are. Again, you have to be prepared for cultist spam, right? At least at the very start. And the problem there is like, yeah, you can take quite a bit of damage, and a lot of them will die out very quickly because, yeah, they're cultists. They're not supposed to be lasting a long time. They're still better than Gretchen, though, so keep that in mind. And the Whirlwind is pretty cool because obviously you can use it as a transport. It's also very durable. The gun isn't amazing, but it's there to basically be a bullet sponge, and it kind of works. So as you can imagine, a first fight, you will lose a lot of troops, mostly the cultists, so I'm going to just build up a new force, and you can see how ridiculous this gets, where I can just end up with loads and loads of forces, basically just trying to get some characters, because I did lose out on my Master of Executions. He did die, but I had him up and running, getting another squad, well, a few squads of Legionnaires. I mean, I'm trying to just separate, and your max is 30 troops, so you can take a lot. And my idea is like, okay, my cultists are pretty much dead. I can now start like getting a bunch, if possible, of like actual Space Marines in. And still, even with a load of new Space Marines, I'm still able to get like a lot. I think my limit was, what, 1800, because I managed to capture a location that gave me an extra 300 resource points. And I was at 25 out of 30 max units for an army, which is hilarious. I'm not going to lie. Absolutely hilarious. That type of stuff just means that you're going to be swarming with so many Legionnaires. By the time that you get up to one of the enemy strongholds, you're going to be absolutely stacked with some big units, and you can save your markers just to kind of upgrade into some other stuff. And unfortunately, I had no action points because I had to do quite a lot of things. But yeah, I'm basically going to hit the Space Marine Fortress with so many units, so many freaking units. The great thing is that you've got quite good characters, so you don't have to worry too much about them, but I do want a Chaos Lord because like the Chaos Lords are super cool. I mean, who doesn't love a Chaos Lord, right? So I'm going to leave you guys with a full-on battle, still pretty early campaign, just so you guys can see how the Black Legion performs in a pretty massive swarm just against some orcs, because I feel like that's kind of fun. It's a really good matchup, and you've got quite a lot. The orcs hit incredibly hard. Honestly, the orc bikers are very, very strong, and they're very, very good at just wiping out not only single characters but also little groups of troops, which was quite cool to see. And I want you to hear how the guys sound, because they sound really great. Honestly, the audio wise, it feels like 40k. The Black Legion DLC releases on the 24th of February, so the day after this video goes live. If you like Chaos and you're looking to jump back into Battlesector, this is definitely going to be a DLC for you to play around with. And if you like the Planetary supremacy, also I know that Slytherin has been pushing to like get a lot more multiplayer going on. The problem is I'm not a multiplayer person. I get too sweaty, and you know, I already deal with enough of that on the tabletop. Like, yeah. Way too sweaty, believe me. But once again, thank you for watching, guys. And a big thank you to Slytherin once again for sponsoring this video. I always really appreciate it. It's a dev company that I really do like working with. And yeah, honestly, like it's always such a joy to get an email from them, or just general communication. I met the influencer manager a few years back at Warhammer Fest, which is a shame it's never happened again. But absolutely like lovely dude. You can tell that his passion there, and like you can tell the whole company really loves what they do. I'll be streaming this on Wednesday, by the way. So if you want to see more of it, if you're still waiting to see if you want to pick up the DLC on Wednesday on twitch.tv/thegreatbookofgrudges. So pop by, say hi, and yeah, I'll see you all again very soon, guys. Have a good day.
You can't hurt us! March! They cannot hide now! Oh! Die soon at us! Oh! Rhino standing by, Watson. Cut down all who stand in our way.
Your skull will make a fine offering to the Dark Gods.
We are returned! Our Black Crusade begins!
Give us this honor, my lord.
Kill them all! Kill them all! You can't hurt us! March! Try to keep up. This will be swift and merciless. Oh! Our Black Crusade begins. Our Black Crusade begins.
Anything for the Dark Masters. As our masters bid.
Moving!
On it.
Our Black Crusade begins.
Anything for the ruinous powers, my lord. I will be your eyes, War Master.
I see you.
I see them.
Give us this honor, my lord. Moving!
On it. Anything for the ruinous powers, my lord.
Look, save us!
We are returned!
No, stop!
We make for war! Our Black Crusade begins!
My enemies cower as I come forth.
Try to keep up!
Moving!
On it!
Moving!
Rhino standing by, War Master. Ready, War Master! Our Black Crusade begins!
Give us this honor, my lord!
Send the prey our way. We's too fast, out of hitting us! I hit me, not me bike! We's too fast, out of hitting us! No, not the paint job! We's too fast, out of hitting us! I hit me, not me bike! We's too fast, out of hitting us! We's too fast, out of hitting us! No, not the paint job!
Ha! I will grant you one more strike.
Pain is nothing!
My axe is ready.
We are returned! Shock and awe! Get off me bike! Raptors ready. It'll heal.
A worthy death for the abyss! Your head will make a fine reward. Burn!
They really think that's gonna slow me down? Rhino, standing by, War Master.
Moving!
Die!
Face my axe, coward!
Ready, War Master. We are returned. Kill them all! I hit me, not me bike! No, not the paint job!
Anything for the ruinous powers, my lord. On it!
They won't see us coming. It'll heal. Ready, War Master. They shoot at us!
Moving!
Die!
Come here so we can smash your teeth out. Rowan! Rowan! Come here so we can smash your teeth out. We are returned. Rowan! Kill them all! Ready, War Master! Cut down all who stand in our way!
My eyes will be watching, Lord. Pain is nothing!
My axe is ready.
Our Black Crusade begins!
Anything for the Dark Masters!
Give us this honor, my lord.
We are returned!
Ah! Look, save us!
Our Black Crusade begins! Grenade out! Our Black Crusade begins!